So here we are, like giving you a transmission of 3.4, the eros of beauty, the alchemy of tension. Heiden is at like a unique place in its development over these 49 trainings where this is number 18, so we're just more than a third of the way through, and it's kind of been like a rambunctious teenager trying to figure out who we are, and it's settled in the last training a deep sense of like what is the core note of Haydn in the world? What is this place, this unique place for soul initiation that has a deep focus on that invincible and eternal note that lives at the core of the human spirit and supports people to turn towards that and activate that and bring it forward in their lives. So I'm delighted that as we make this next move into 3.4, where we're gradually creating our own homegrown team of beings that have been through these trainings and have like allowed the being to inform itself through them and are able to sound that note more clearly in the world. So every training has like a leadership team of 7 at its core, and of those is a core triangle that hold the teaching and transmitting function. And so I'm delighted to introduce you to Rory and Danielle and Tahl, who are holding that triad for 3.4. So yeah, I'd like to just maybe invite you to see if you can do the impossible, which is to clothe in words the vibration of the transmission that lives at the core of what we're doing at Heiden.
Yeah, one of the things that I feel to share first in the acknowledgement of shifting what we're calling it from the temple training to the temple initiation, and what that embodies is the recognition that it's not a thing, just another thing to come to and to learn something from and get a certificate and go home, that you will inevitably learn many things. There's a library full of incredible books. There is activated land that is vibrating with codes from thousands of beings that have prayed there from the mysteries of the land itself. And there's a team of beings with an incredible range of experience and knowledge of spiritual traditions and the mysteries of life and death. And all of these things will inform you, but ultimately the core of it is gnosis. We're coming together for gnosis, and the thing that you come to the temple for, that you come to the mystery school for, is what the mystery schools have always been about, which is a thing that cannot be taught or shared, or must be experienced. It's not written in books. It's the thing which books are written from. They're the places which prophets come out of. And so what we're calling you into is not to come get another thing, but it's to come give everything. And it's to give everything so that you can find, perhaps for the first time or for the thousandth time or the last time, the essence of what you truly are, the thing that only you can know, which is ultimately the same thing that we all know. We're coming together to know what we know. And we're doing that because it matters. And we're doing that because the world needs us. And we're calling you into this space because we need you, because love needs you, and because the world needs our love. So that's the invitation that calls all of us home, is to remember. It's not to be taught.
Bruce mentioned that this is the 18th training, and so 18 in Hebrew is Chai, which means life. It's the 666, right? So this is like the like a creative, animated energy that is a life expression, and that's really what I feel like we're tapping into here. We're tapping into a beautiful vortex of a life current that wants to express itself. And as we're on the pivot of a new eon, some of these esoteric schools are at the sort of core, the eye of the cyclone. And so tapping into these, we become vessels for this energy to flow through into the world and make changes more swiftly, more fully. And what we want is to be tapped into that. You know, Rory said, why does that matter? It matters because we are the vessels that this change comes through. And tapping into that deeper life force brings us more to life. And this particular training has an element of creativity to it. Right? It's the 3.4, it's the art, the creativity. And so again, this, you know, the life force, the current, this is like art and creation that flows through. So this number 18 is an important number. While it's a group training, and we're all tapping into a group energy, we're also very much tapping into our own personal, soul thumbprint. It's also a very personalized expression that comes through, and when we're all tapping into our own personal current and wiring into the group, then it becomes this unified sacred geometry. A crow just landed right in front of me and is taking a look at me.
Yeah, I'm feeling the quality of beauty that we're inviting this next group into, is what it is to be fully open and available to the beauty that is here in every single moment in this life. And when we look around in the world at the minute and there's everything, it feels is burning and roaring and asking us to come more into life. And there's something in the sanctuary that Heiden is, where we can come together and really allow ourselves to break open and break apart. And there's like a beautiful poem, that quote that says, like, if you're really truly alive, if you're really truly alive and present in this world, your heart will break, and your heart will break open and apart again and again. And it will break open because of the terror of this world, but also because of the beauty. And there's something in the initiation of beauty that you can't help but want to be who you came here to be, when you really open to what is out here in the world, what is available. And yeah, that's the invitation, is come here to be in a space where you can be held in the loving embrace of souls, of love, like held by love, so that you can break open, so that you can emerge from all of the shells and the armor that you've had to create, that you've had to lock yourself in order to survive until this moment. Yeah, the hard work is done now, the battle is done now. Like, it's safe to come out, it's safe to come alive, it's safe to claim this life as your own, to be who you came here to be. It's just something, and not like come here to be safe, come here because you're safe, but come here into this sanctuary where you're held, and it's safe for you to break open here together with us, so that you can come alive, so that you can, come more into your aliveness together.
Yeah, something I love about this process is that it strips you naked, and it's almost impossible. You can't facilitate this work from a place of like knowing something or having experience. You actually have to be naked yourselves in order for the work to come through you, and that's the invitation for people coming. Like, humans can be so tricky. Like, a crow has to be a crow, or a rose has to be a rose, but humans are clever. We can layer our true nature in many different modifications so that we can survive and we can meet the world where it is. And sometimes all of those coverings end up blocking the beauty of what lives at the human core. And so this striptease, this apocalypse, this gradually like asking each other to take off those layers of adjustment that mean we try to meet the world, and let that note of beauty sound forth. It's not just a note of beauty, it's a note of terror, because you're naked before each other and you're naked before the world. But in that nakedness, something else emerges. And then sustaining that, being able to be naked together, inner training for 6 weeks means that when you go back out into the world, you've got much more of a chance of being able to stay with both feet in the core of your being and your true nature, and then put on the layers that you need to bring the love that you are to the world.
Mm. Mm.
I'd like to share something about this initiation in particular, 3.4, because it's something that's often asked in the interviews around what the rays are and what these cycles are that we speak of in the 18th training that Bruce mentioned, which is the 18th out of 49, 7 cycles of 7, which is based in an ancient and universal system of the 7 rays, or the science of the 7 rays, that finds itself in many different traditions. It's referenced. And it's basically just speaking to these 7 energies that all emerge out of the great everything and nothingness, or the one or the void, the 7 spectrums of the rainbow, these 7 energies that make up all things. And each one of them has a note, a texture, a taste, a color, a vibration. And so the landing of this 7th ray temple at Heiden in New Zealand comes through this 7 cycles of 7, and right now we're in the middle of the 3rd cycle, the 3rd ray, which is the web of life itself. It's the web of abstract intelligence, not just the intelligence of the scientific mind, but the intelligence of creation itself. And so that's the overarching energy that's painting this time that we're in. And this 4th ray cycle is harmony through conflict, the result of which is beauty. It's the tension of the duality of the nature of life itself. And it's that tension in between the pole of opposites that creates poetry and art and creativity itself. And something that a few people have asked me is from this sort of insecure place of being like, oh, I'm not sure if this is the right one. Am I an artist? I don't know if I'm an artist or not. And the thing that's so clear to me is that what this is, in anyone that feels the call of this time, of this initiation, is to initiate the artist in all of us. Like, this is not just, it's calling out the artist that lives in every single one of us. It's calling on the poets, calling on the hopeless romantics, calling on the ones that know that there is something more than the story that we've been told and that we tell each other. So this isn't a space that demands any certain type of personality. It's a space that invites a part of all of us to come and to dance and to play and to create together.
Mm. Yeah, and there's something beautiful about that calling. Like, I was thinking back to whenever I heard the call to come to Heiden, and it had been in my phone for so long. I'd done the application a couple of times and just never felt quite right. And then one of the facilitators of the next training, in some way, like, came to me. I felt her soul reach out to me and just said to me, it's now, like, this is the time is now. And it didn't matter what the reasons were or why or what the form was, but some part of me knew, and I was listening to that calling, that beat of my soul that knew that it's time. And I have had this vision of being both the one in the casket and being the one carrying the casket in this very slow procession to die, like, and to be in that threshold of initiation, of knowing, like, this is it, this is my time to come and surrender what I don't know, and for what I don't know, and to what I don't know. And I didn't need to know, I needed. And it's that gnosis that you're speaking of that part of me that just knew it was time. It was time to come across the world. It was time to burn everything down. It was time to quit the job and leave it was like all the things that were in the way of me coming there all of a sudden just stopped meaning anything. That it just, nothing became more important than me listening to this call and coming. And so I feel like that also in these videos and these ways that we're reaching out across the globe is like, this is a way to amplify that calling and to say, like, if you are if you are that, if you have been circling, if you have been stepping and peeking and wondering, is it now, is it now, like this is it. If you've heard this call in the vast array of what you see on social media and out in the world, if you've come onto this video and stumbled across this vibration, this frequency, this call, then it's time, you know, it's time to come. No.
Yeah, this message is for the one that knows, the one in each of you that's listening that knows that maybe other parts are afraid, or maybe other parts are looking at their calendars or their bank accounts, but there is a place that knows, and if that part of you is responding, it won't let you ignore it. It will keep coming. It will come like so many that have come months or years later, when that part wouldn't let them go. So just come now. Now is the time. The calling is out, like the horn is sounding on the mountain, and the time is now. And all parts of you are welcome, the fearful parts, the doubting parts. Like there will never be a perfect time more perfect than now, with all of the chaos and uncertainty in each of us and in the world. Like every one of us is feeling that tremble, and that tremble is the threshold of initiation, which is lived and breathed and felt and experienced, not taught or shared or learned. And we learn it through the being of it. We learn it through the doing of it, through living and dying it together. And that's what this space is. That's what a mystery school is. It's not about ideas or ideologies or telling each other what to do. It's about coming and being at that edge together.
Yeah. So I think that's a big piece that's missed with people reading books of magic or initiation, and it's like, no, you really have to be in it. I'd also like to riff on that piece on the artist, right? Some people may hear the calling and then feel, oh, well, I'm not an artist, like, I'll come to the next one. But really, if you're into magic, if you're into spirituality, what is magic? Magic is the art and science of creating change and conformity with will. But really, like, this is life, right? It's like how to do life consciously and beautifully. There's an art to it, and yes, there's a science to it. And so bringing that aspect of anything, like are you a poet? Are you a dancer? Like, how do you engage with other human beings? Like there's artistic flow to life that will be amplified in this particular training. Rituals, like how to move your magic in the world, how to like pull in the different elements of magic to create a ritual that harmonizes you with different energies and currents. So yeah, I think it's important to just put that out there again, as don't shy away from that if you're not an artist, but know that like we'll be tapping into that creative flow.
Also, Carl Jung said that to be a human requires superhuman powers, and to truly live your own authentic wild life is itself art. The human life is the art of like how to balance the polarities of our incredible vulnerability and our magnificent, eternal nature, how to balance our masculine and feminine, how to balance, work in the world and the call to go home to the core. Like, these are all intense polarities that everybody's stretched upon, and the way that we express these polarities and live them is our art. And I also want to like sound the note that lives on the stone at the very core of Heiden, which is freedom, and just how terrible freedom is, to really know that living at the core of you can create the life that you want. You don't have to follow the models and the maps. Like, the true act of creation is an act of freedom. It's an act of will. Like, there is love. Yes, you have to. Love is what coheres all part of the being and allows us to come together. But it's the act of freedom that is the creative act. It's that note of like picking up a pen and a blank canvas and your life being a blank canvas and truly living the life that you are called to live from your core, that inherent note of freedom is not something that anyone can give you. It's something that lives at the core of every soul, but we do have to claim it, and that's the tarot.
Yeah, speaking of Carl Jung, it makes me think of a thing that you say sometimes, Bruce, that everyone wants to be a Jungian, but no one wants to be a Jung. And that reminds me also of wanting to share about this radical experimental quality of what we're up to, which is coming together in a laboratory of souls and humans, of our humanity and our psyches and our souls and our love and our eros and all of these things coming together in a pot of really exploring the essence of the human potential beyond the limitations that we place upon ourselves and each other. And so that exciting pioneering element of the experimental radical quality of the invitation and of what we're doing here. It's not, we are writing it together. It's not a thing that's been finished or figured out. There, so much has already revealed in these last cycles, and there's so much more to come. And so that's the thing to speak to those of you or those of us that are looking for that are fucking bored, that want to know, like, where are the fires, where things beyond the edges of what seem possible, or where dreams become reality, where we dance between worlds, where we live in the thin places. And that's also what the mystery school is. That's what this invitation is to be day after day, night after night, week after week, together, deepening in those spaces. Not just, it's not like dipping the toe. We would dive in together fully. And I know that there are thousands, there are millions that are looking for this place. I was looking, every one of us has been looking for this space. So yeah, I want to speak to that part in so many of us as well, that don't know, like, we're always all testing, like, is this my place? Are these my people? Is it my crew or my group? Like, yes, it is. And it's not, like, it's a merry band of misfits and lunatics and magicians and alchemists and mystics from all, because that's what we all are. And those parts of all of us can emerge in this space. Ultimately, it's a space that allows those places to emerge, to come together, to dance together, and to create beauty together.
Yeah, I also want to say that, initiation is not a consumer experience. And like, one of the things that happens is that pioneers get called into this work, and then it starts to become normalized, and it's not something that you do to put on your CV, or it's because the cool people are doing it, or it's something that does come from a deep calling inside you, which knows that you have resources inside you that are untapped. There are places that have not been accessed yet. So that's going to be a stretch. It isn't going to be something that you just sit comfortably in the middle of and have it like rotate around your ego. It's going to put pressure on the core. And so, of course, we're all deeply at choice with the choices that we make, but you are coming into like a deep fire, and you're willingly doing that in order to open and grow and go places you've never been before, and so on, out of your choice. That's part of the mystery, rather than, it's not all laid out. We don't have a script that is there to like take you through experiences. We are in the living mystery with you, and we know that when we do that together, then that's where the magic happens. So yeah, if you come be prepared to be stretched into the magical depths of your own being.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 6-week training or 6-week initiation process that it cracks the ego shell, because a lot of these retreats and things like that, 1 week, 10 days, the ego can really hold on, but 2 weeks, 3 weeks in this alchemical pressure cooking pot, it's very, very difficult for the ego to hold on. So that it does become a very intense initiation process. And of course, depending on your will, like Bruce always says, you want to be do you want to like supernova, like what's your pace that you want to go at, so you can kind of turn that faucet on and off at your will. And there's two wills here. We have the ego will, which is also important to listen to, because if we open that faucet a little too fast, too hard, without paying attention, sometimes things can fracture. And then there's also a greater will, and this is what we were talking about earlier on here, where we're tapping into a bigger current. And so there's a cosmic, a universal will that wants to move through us. And so aligning ourselves or harmonizing ourselves with that particular vibration then puts us, sort of in the mid flow of the universal river, and we're living a great work, or the life that we're supposed to live, right? We're not fighting, we're not working our way uphill. It's the life that wants to move through us, and what we were sort of born here to do. And so we start to learn to align these two wills, the greater will, the personal will, start to listen to the subtle, and life starts to become more easy, and or we step into much more difficult situations with much more grace, because we have the support of the universe behind us. We start to fall into alignment of our own personal cosmic star with our own orbit.
Yeah, I love what you were saying about the ego too, that, the ego is not the enemy. We're not there to try to crack the ego. A healthy ego is great, but it's the ego that like convinces us that we're separate and that we are our limitations, and like imprisons us. That's the thing that we are wanting to transcend and include, get bigger than, grow out of, like expand, and that's initiation, is the expansion beyond the ego, that then can learn how to inhabit it and let the ego take us into the world.
Yeah, and to what you were saying earlier, Bruce, it's not comfy, but it is thrilling, and it is loving. It's not burning for the sake of burning, it's burning for the sake of love. There is a deep purpose. The deepest of all purposes is what we're burning for, and it's the part of each of us that knows we might not like it, but we know that soul is found in crisis and in the fires of life and death and of challenging experiences, and those initiations are inbuilt into life. They come for us anyway, and the simplest things that we all have to experience, of heartbreak and the loss of loved ones, and we can also come together and invoke those spaces and be in them together, in the things that come for us anyway. So it's not like we create fire for the sake of fire. We create fire because it's there, and because love demands it anyway, and we can burn and love and be forged together.
Yeah, and I want to speak of this nakedness, this learning how to be exposed in group and expose ourselves and confess, and to have that recognition of those parts that are actually exhausted. Like, so much of me just wants to reach out and say, like, aren't you tired? Like, aren't you sick and tired of pretending that this is enough? Aren't you sick and tired of pretending that the world that you look out into is that you're okay with that? Like, I want to speak to those parts. Like, it's okay that you're not okay. It's okay that you're tired. It's okay that you're exhausted. It's okay that you're sick of pretending that this world is that this is enough. Like, there's more that you could be doing. There's more that we could be doing together. There's more in you. There's more life. There's more passion. There's more purpose. There's more magic to be had in this world and in your own life. And aren't you sick of waiting? It's like there's something in the self-initiation of this, that this initiation isn't something that's like, it's not done to you. No one's going to hand you a certificate when you get there to say, like, well done. You're like, the initiation is a self-led journey, and when you're in group, it gets accelerated, and when you're in these containers, it gets accelerated. And you know, that 2 week mark, or that we all know what it is to get through these week-long containers, these retreats, and go like, haha, yes, I made it, you know, I made it without ever having to lay myself bare, ever having to expose these parts. And aren't you tired? Like, aren't you sick of getting away with it? Like, there's something in the beauty and the terror and the magic and the devastation of realizing that of course you can hang on, and 6 weeks is a long time to cling on to those parts. So like, yeah, there's always that at the end of the 6 week training, you know, many times there's someone that's like, oh, and now I'm here, and now I'm alive, and now I'm ready for the training, you know? It's like, how do we speak to you and say, like, on the first day, like, arrive now, come now, confess now, let's bring all of those parts here, and let them be loved, let them be seen, let them put down their armor and all of their guards and all of their shields, and let them come through, and let them have the experience of the 6 weeks of not having to be anyone, not having to do anything, not having to perform or entertain or pretend, but actually, like, what is it just to be, and to be real, and to be true, and to be honest. And that's the biggest relief that I've ever felt in my life, of arriving at Heiden, of like finally a place where I can just be. Mm.
Amazing. What you're talking into is like, to me, the soul wound, you know, one of the deep soul wounds is not being seen. And so then there's a part of us that desperately wants to be seen and desperately doesn't want to be seen. And it plays hide and seek, you know, but that wound of like only being seen as a man or a woman, or as, you know, what your parents wanted you to be, or what society wants you to be, like all of the projections that come upon us from the world, and not to be seen for our essence, for the magical beauty that lives at the core of a human being, that comes with gifts. You know, so many people come and never unwrap their gift. You know, each of us is this amazing expression of divine life, and part of life is learning how to unwrap that gift so the world can have it and see it. But in order to do that, we have to become naked. We have to become exposed. We have to let what lives at the core of us meet the world directly without 79 condoms, you know. And that is a magical process of unveiling. And when it's true and when it's right, when you can't live within the what swaddling clothes anymore, then Haydn is a magical place.
Yeah, and feeling from what you were saying too, Danny, of really speaking to all of the different parts, because there is the deep fire of the core calling that we're speaking to, which is invincible, and which touches something in each of us, which is unstoppable, which is beyond this life, and which is this hugeness that these spaces of initiation are to come into deeper contact with that. And the beautiful ironic link between the biggest and the smallest places, as we open to these bigger energies, the smallest parts of our being and our psyche and our wounding and our life experience and our past life experiences, they all come up to be seen and to drink from that river of love as well. And so the reminder to speak to all those places that are shaking, that are terrified, that know that the thing that they long for most, which is to be seen and loved, is possible when they thought it was impossible. The parts in each of us that don't actually believe that love exists, or that there is a place where we can be loved because we haven't known how to love those places. So this space is for that as well. It's a field of love, strong enough, long enough, deep enough to hold all of those parts in each other. It happens through us all coming in naked together, and that magical space of love is created not by any one person's doing, but by all of us unveiling together. So I want to speak to that place as well in each of us, that's like, yes, it actually is possible, and yes, we do really want to create this together, and it does take all of us, and it is terrifying, and that is okay.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, and I want to say about Heiden is a seventh ray mystery school. Heiden is a place where this soul work, these words, these are no longer just concepts. It's beyond ideology and frameworks, but it's actually a place to come and have the lived experience of what it is to be in soul, what it is to be loved at the core of you, what it is to experience intimacy that is beyond possibly anything that, like for me, it was beyond anything that I'd ever experienced, anything that I'd ever been exposed to before, anything that I ever thought possible, this level of intimacy, what it is to be loved at the core of me. And with that it comes an almighty shake, because it's going to prove wrong everything that you ever knew about yourself, or everything you ever knew about love, and about life, and about what is accessible and what is available and what is actually yours, like what is an intrinsic right just because you exist in this world. This love is yours, and to have that lived experience in the body, like for the body to be loved, for the body to know what it is to be loved, all parts of you to be loved, and to become the living vibration of that, because it's not just 1 week, it's not just one day, it's not just one experience, it's not just one peak journey with medicine. It's an actual lived experiment. There's no medicine, there's no plant, like it's the ceremony of coming into life itself, of recognizing, remembering the divinity of this body. And to do that and to have that experience, to marinate in that for 6 weeks, that is how we then turn outward into the world. And it becomes less about another spiritual retreat where you come and learn about yourself and develop yourself. It's an undeveloping of the self. It's an unraveling of the self. It's a remembering of your divinity, so that then you can turn out into the world and bring that living vibration of love with you wherever you go, into your community, into your work, into your family, into your life, into the world itself. Like it's a place to come and plant a seed. It's a seeding that this training is, so that we can go and blossom in the world. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also want to like double click on that. The seventh ray part of the mystery school is that the land itself is a co-initiator, like sitting with us should be the land, because it's a big part of coming to Heiden is somatic. It's bringing your land to what in the Maori tradition is called a Turanga Waiwai, which is a sacred place for the soul to stand. It's land that's been dedicated to the unfoldment of the soul. And that just means in Heiden's history, it's been mystery school for 25 years. Before that, it was Catholic monastery. Before that, it was Maori mystery school. Before that, it was a place where the ley lines have always crossed. It's a sacred piece of land that somehow whispers to your being that it's safe for you to unfold there. So much of coming there is coming and finding that tree in the forest, or that tree to watch sunset under, or that little piece of magical garden, or that rose bush, or something that allows the soul to vibrate in deep harmony with the land and with the deep core of the embodied soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also felt the importance of you bringing that in, Danny, of the seventh ray note, which is the note of matter, of the sacredness of matter, and that Heiden is a seventh ray mystery school. It's devoted to the mysteries of matter, of form, of the body. So that is something truly unique as well. It's not another spiritual center to just be in the theoretical or in the subtle, but it's a place where those meet, where they come in to land into bodies, into groups, into hearts, into tissue. Mm-hmm. And so all of these things that we speak to is embodied. It's in the felt physical experience of this incarnation, of this lifetime, to come experience these things which we may have felt in plant medicine ceremonies, or in profound moments of meditation, or in study, or in moments in nature, but to feel it in our own hearts and bodies together in group, to live and feel the vibration of initiation, of sacredness, of life itself, of the one eternal life itself roaring through these forms. And that is really such a unique part of what Heiden has to offer, is the embodied exploration of the mysteries, and that science of the seven rays, or this recognition of these seven notes which all come together to make that possible, which each of us have are the qualities that we're the most resonant with, but when we come together, then a symphony is created from all these different notes or instruments. So that is also what makes it possible, is that all of these different energies meet together, and together they sing in this note of fullness and wholeness.
Yeah, I also want to say that part of the seventh ray mystery school is a recognition that it's landing and that you're coming into an experiment. It's not like you're coming into a preformed curriculum that already thinks it knows the way. You're coming into an inquiry together. And the reason it's happening over 25 years and there's 49 trainings is they're like 49 prayer wheels. Each one's being turned in order to allow us to listen and be worked by this mystery that's arriving, this mystery school that's arriving. And so you're joining a group of maybe 1,000 people over that 25-year cycle of 49 trainings that are coming in mystery together to be cells in this emerging experiment in love and freedom and the world that's coming. So yeah, the wear your pioneering boots, that are part of like coming together into an inquiry where we don't actually know the way, but we care enough to make the journey and care enough to make that journey together and to make it a priority in our lives.